It's another chilly night across Southern California. You're looking live at downtown LA right now. The first winter storm of the year is on the way, and to prep for that rain, actually mostly for the snow, Caltrans applied a de-icing agent along the 15 and the Cajon Pass. Chains are expected to be required in the San Bernardino Mountains. LA County Fire is also going to be keeping an eye on the low-lying parts of the burn areas. We go to Garth Kemp. You know, Garth, every time I head up there, I think I'm never going to have to put on chains, and that's when I'm wrong.
Yeah, I never understood the chain thing. Like, I lived in Minnesota, they just put chemicals down on the road. It kind of helps, but you got to carry them with you. You're right, Jeff, because either that or you got to get out in the cold and find somebody who'll do it for you and pay them. 52 degrees right now, but Jeff's right. Carry chains if you're going up there. You're going to need it. 47 San Bernardino, 32 in the Big Bear right now. So we're starting to pick some clouds up. That's why it's not as cold tonight as what we've seen. We do have those winter weather advisories. This is where Jeff was just speaking about, all mountain locations, so we could get a decent amount of snow above a decent elevation. How decent is both of those things? We'll tell you coming up in just a few minutes, plus the rain. Jeff?
Garth, thanks. Because of the storm, SoCal Gas has extended its so-called dial it down alert through Monday. They're asking you to conserve natural gas by setting your thermostat to 68 degrees when you're home, 55 degrees when you go out. And don't run your appliances with cold water, not warm water, not hot water. A dramatic high-speed chase from Riverside to Orange County. The driver went the wrong way. He swerved onto dirt roads. Then one of his two passengers rolled out right in the middle of the road before the driver finally gave himself up. CBS 2 Orange County reporter Stacy Butler is live in Anaheim, where that chase finally ended. Stacy?
Yeah, Jeff, it all ended right here behind me. What a wild chase. And it's not just because of how crazy this guy was driving, but because of who he dropped off along the way.
Wheeled away in an ambulance. CHP officers say this woman was the passenger who possibly jumped out or fell out during a high-speed pursuit earlier tonight.
There we go. Somebody coming out of the door.
A CHP cruiser picked the passenger up near Kramer and La Palma in Anaheim and brought her safely to a nearby parking lot where paramedics treated her for a complaint of shoulder pain. Officers say she told them she knew the suspect well and that he was armed with a gun. She was not seriously hurt, and she said neither was another woman she claimed was also in the car and pregnant, who got out in Riverside when the chase began. You can see her walking away on the sidewalk. It's unclear if the women were victims or suspects along with the driver. CHP officers say the driver was out on bail. Riverside sheriffs say they tried to stop the driver after they say he assaulted a police officer. Sky 2 was over the pursuit as the driver sped through 2 counties, at times driving on the shoulder.
Whoa.
He even plowed through a dirt road along a train track over side streets and drove on the wrong side of the road for over 2 hours Friday during rush hour traffic.
Or he's getting back on. There we go, and that's what we've been talking about.
CHP officers caught up with him in Anaheim near State College Boulevard. He walked out of the Jeep with his hands up. He was taken into custody without a fight.
Hands up, bringing this thing to an end. The dog, though, ready to make a move if need be, but it does appear that the driver now going into custody.
And it looks like he's going to stay in custody for a while. He now faces a slew of charges. That's the latest from Anaheim. Jeff, back to you.
All right, Stacey, thanks. The partial government shutdown has now lasted 2 weeks. And for a second time this week, congressional leaders left the White House with no sign of a deal. President Trump says he sees the shutdown lasting, what, months, even years, Tom?
He is saying that, and based on what we saw today, I would not be surprised if this lasts a very long time. So basically, the president did say that. He said this shutdown could last months, even years, but he did say he hoped this would end soon. But at this point, there is no deal in sight.
The impasse in the Capitol goes on. No deal on a border wall with no end to the partial shutdown in sight. A small group of federal workers gathered to protest today, just a tiny fraction of the hundreds of thousands of staffers who are right now going without pay.
We're just really fed up right now. We're just so fed up.
Millionaires don't care about the regular people, you know?
Today, top Democrats and the president held dueling press conferences after a meeting at the White House. No agreement was reached, and both sides continue to dig in.
We recognize on the Democratic side that we really cannot resolve this until we open up government, and we made that very clear.
President Trump told congressional leaders the shutdown could last months or even years.
I did say that. Absolutely, I said that. I don't think it will, but I am prepared.
The president even said he could use emergency powers to divert Pentagon funds to build a wall.
We can call a national emergency because of the security of our country. Absolutely. No, we can do it. I haven't done it. I may do it.
Speaker Pelosi sat down today with CBS Sunday Morning's Jane Pauley and offered this stark perspective on the president's mindset.
The impression you get from the president that he would like to not only close government, build a wall, but also abolish Congress.
Senate Leader Mitch McConnell was not at either of today's press conferences. The new democratically controlled House sent the Senate a pair of bills without border wall funding to end the shutdown. But McConnell has refused to allow a vote without the president's approval. So a lot going on there, Jeff.
All right, Tom, thanks. Part and parcel of the shutdown, it appears hundreds of TSA workers called out sick this week at least some major airports. That's according to 2 senior agency officials and 3 TSA employee union leaders. The TSA issued a statement today acknowledging the increase, but say that the impact is minimal. Security should not be compromised. TSA workers are required to work without pay through the partial government shutdown. With just days left in office, Governor Jerry Brown tweeted out a video saying goodbye and thank you. It was a 6-minute clip. Look back at his latest tenure in Sacramento.
California is the most aggressive, the most far-reaching climate action state in the country, in the Western Hemisphere.
That video highlighted what Brown had accomplished during his most recent time in office. His successor, Lieutenant Governor Gavin Newsom, is going to be sworn into office on Monday. And we should tell you, CBS 2 political reporter Dave Bryan is traveling up to Sacramento to be there for Governor-elect Gavin Newsom's inauguration. Our coverage of that event begins Sunday. What a wild card weekend we have coming up in the NFL, and on Sunday the Chargers are going to play their first playoff game in 5 years. CBS 2 sports director Jim Hill is in Baltimore, where they're going to be facing the Ravens.
The Chargers have been true road warriors this year. On the road, their record has been 7-1, and head coach Anthony Lynn feels that their road record in the regular season will help them in postseason play.
The road trips, yeah, we've played well on the road, and I think our guys kind of like it. You know, they like going in hostile environments and going in, back to back. So we'll see.
Just taking it week by week and just treating each game, the same. You can't really overthink it. You can't, overreact it or just get overwhelmed with the circumstances. Just go out there, do what we've been doing all season and just, play our best and play together.
We're going into another hostile environment. Their fans are going to be loud. Their defense is going to be crazy. Their offense is going to try to dictate the game, and we just take all that in and we soak it in and we just go out there and do what we're supposed to do.
With the Chargers at the NFL playoffs in Baltimore, Maryland, I'm Jim Hill.
And you can watch the Chargers wild card game in Baltimore this Sunday right here on CBS 2. Coverage starts at 10 in the morning. Jim Hill will have reports from Baltimore throughout the weekend. And CBS 2 is also your home for the AFC Championship game. That game will be Sunday, January 20th, 3:40 p.m. our time. The winner goes to Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta, Sunday, February 3rd, and that also is right here on CBS 2. A man accused of pushing someone in front of a truck. What he did today that led the judge to postpone his court hearing.
And a new development tonight as a federal court weighs in on a potential teacher strike at LA schools.
Oh, and hitting the slopes, local ski resorts hope to be busy as they gear up for this next winter storm.